Hi sir, my name is Veeraraju Pallapothu with student ID 0061099256. Today I'm going to explain about my assignment 2 of subject CIS 5302. The coming to the task 1, work structure breakdown. So what is meant by work structure breakdown? In the sense, if any company want to achieve its goals or achievements, the work has to be split between the teams. Like there will be different teams that has to undergo different process to meet the goals of the company. For example, evaluation of a system. What in this what it does, like it will conduct a regular meeting with the workers. What is required and what is not required, and in this like minimizing the system weakness and what has to be done to overcome that weakness and to overcome that weakness. Coming to the planning department will predict the how much amount we need to spend on a certain project, and what are they will predict the time in how much time we can complete the project, and how efficiently we can complete the project. And coming to the analysis, sir, analysis department will analyze the documents, what are all the required for the process, and if anything more if anything more they required, then they will explain in brief with using a diagrams and explain the this has to be done like that and this has to be done like this, and they will explain everything in detail by drawing a diagrams. Coming to the design department, they'll make an outline for the necessities in the framework. What are all the necessities required in the framework? They'll make outline of it. And the framework they are developing, they should be that should be easy to use. Coming to the system development, sir. In system development, the code is developed for the system, and the code that we are developing, the customer, we should consider the customer demand, customer in the code testing. The In the code testing department, what we have to do, the developed code has to be tested whether it is working properly or not. Coming to the system maintenance, sir. System maintenance team, what it will do, it will check the data, or recover the data, the lost recover the data lost by using a key in a in any system. If we lost the complete data, we have to recover the data. If it is not working, the system maintenance, the team has to try they have to do their work, and we have to get the recovery data, like recover the data that we has been lost. And system support and security team, this team, what does it do, sir? They will support like customer service and dealing with the customer affairs and answering these providing answers to the customer questions. Everything is done by the systems security support system security and support, sir. Coming to the to be design activity diagram, sir. In this what I did, like there are 4 columns, like doctor office and um, patient management system, and specialist office and medigood. Like once, what does it what does the what does doctor office do? Like he will check the record. He will check the patient records, like of who is of 65 years old, what they are suffering from, and if and what the patient management check the records for eligibility of the doctors. Find eligibility of the doctors. They will find the specialist for the they will find this specialist available for the system. Like if the patient is suffering from diabetes, they will search for the doctor who is mm, who is dealing with the diabetes, like a specialist. If yes, they will alert the if they will alert the doctor, and the system and the process continues. If no, the process stops here. And if the if the doctor found if they find the doctor, they will proceed the process further, and the doctor accept the telehealth consult, and they will treat the patient and update the and what they will do, they will update the patient management service with the doctor notes. Especially coming to the specialist office, if the doctor accepts the patient, if the specialist is found, then the specialist office this process continues, like specialist accept the teleconsent, and after that the process takes place. Like when the doctor updated with the PMS with doctor notes, they issue the claim, and the Medigood check the process and sends the payment, sir. Coming to the organization, sir. So to be process, and what is to be system and as a system. Like to be as a system is a system that is that a particular organization is using right now is at the present time. If it is using the any particular system is using at present time, is as is processor. Like to be process is like in future, if a company want to use any of the planning or any of the system, after a certain period of time, it is called to be processor. Like in to be like in as is process, the system these they faced many difficulties in collecting the patients details, and the pure lack of communication, and assigning the doctors manually, not computerized in as is process, and lot of time is wasted in as is process. So we can expect less output, or less um, delays will be more certain. Time is also wasted, and less output or less profit is came from the as is processor. Coming to the to be processor, like system is the organization is updated with the computers and everything. And what they did, if the organization is developed with computers and everything is computerized, no need of the time is saved, and the one person, the four persons work is done by the one person, right? For example, minimizing the workers, since everything is ensuring, assigning the doctors is computerized. If collecting the data, no data will be lost. If the in as is process, something, if you miss the patient, if the you can if by chance, if we can by chance we can miss the patient's data. But in to be process, once if you enter the details in the computer, that's it. No data will be lost. And after, if the patient is assigned to the specialist, the notification is sent to the both to the specialist and the patient, and what time he has to go, and he has to meet the customer, and everything is done in the to be processor. uh, Coming to the screen design, in screen design, how the patient's screen looks, how the patient screen looks. Like if a patient has to register in has to register, and he has to make his profile, how his profile, like the registration details, first name, second name. If he want he if a patient want to create his profile, he has to enter his details here. And wha- mm, is explained here. And coming to the second, if a family doctor want to access the customer details, how the family doctor's page looks like name, mark buzzer, specialization psychiatrist, availability 5718, assign. If for example, if a patient is suffering from heart, like Elias Sam, a cardiologist, Elias Sam deals with the the patient who is suffering from heart problems. Like if you want to assign, the family doctor can assign. This is how the web page looks for the for the family doctors. acceptance criteria in story one sir, in acceptance criteria, like as I explained you before, like how the web page looks for the patient and how the web page looks for the family doctor. In the story one, how as explained, so the qualified are old and updating profile by, the qualified patients are people who are primarily over 60 years 65 years old, that we know already, like and in this first story one, uh, the patients, they want to they will create their own profile, and they will means they will enter what they are suffering from, and mm, from what disease they are suffering from, and that is all done in the story one, sir. And notification is sent to the customer and the other proposed customer through through computerization, like they're sending like notification like emails or through writings, some like that. Coming to the story to family doctor, sir. um, assigning the doctors, assigning the specialist, assigning the specialist of particular means like cardiologist or psychiatrist or diabetes, or assigning them to assigning them if they are available for the patients who are suffering from the particular disease. These all explained in story to, sir, like application actors, how the system, like the patient, what he needs, like personal computer or portable computer, and what he needs, internet database, and how monitoring system and everything, like this diagram explains how the patient is approaching the doctor and what he needs, in between what process takes place, like a diagnosis, expert system, everything, the report report to the customer. So like report to the customer, in the sense like after dealing after the customer, after the customer, or patient, if we go to the doctor or if we go to any specialist, some reports are under the activities that are undertaken has to be submitted to the customer, like for example, like salesperson contact, integration, project review, vendor, company mobile number, company information, background, business guidelines, project timescales, business requirements, format of response, evaluation criteria, vendor queries, any form of, if you have any um, queries regarding the text messages or any confidential statement, like mm, I mean like terms and conditions, like that. Response section, response date, and how the queries are sent, and how the email is sent, and how the answers, how the emails are sent, and how the emails, what, so if so in any in any soft, they're all they're explained in acceptance criteria. Coming to the next task, sir, agile and waterfall, agile and waterfall differences. So these are two methodologies that are applied in any new software in the given organization. Like what is the difference between agile and waterfall difference is explained. For coming to the waterfall, it is only applicable to the only single project, like in agile method we can do multiple projects, and in agile method we can we can flexibly change the requirements, but in waterfall it doesn't possible, like once if anything, no requirement is changed, and coming to the waterfall method, testing is done after building the system, and agile method, testing is done by hand, like in building process, time to time, time to time, like as we are building the process, the testing process goes on, like simultaneously, like simultaneous process. uh, see in the next page, like here waterfall method, I explained how what they require and how requires a document prepare, how they use cases and design, what software they how they map the stakeholders and implementation, how they construct the software, and how they verify the how they verify and test and install the softwares, and how they maintain and check errors and optimize capabilities. And here coming to the waterfall method advantages, uh, the documentations of data is orderly managed, orderly. The document has to be, the advantage is like that the documents are arranged in alphabetical manner, like orderly manner, like from a b c to like a to z, from a to z, like a b c e d e f g h I, like in orderly manner. And what are the main disadvantage is like testing is done at the implementation done at the done at the implementation of end of the implementation of the process. That is the main disadvantage considering like and one more disadvantage of the waterfall is like, as I said before, the changes are irreversible. If anything is if anything is entered before, if is entered, that's it, and we can't change, or we can't remove the data, or we can't enter any other like we want to change the data or something like coming to the agile method. What is agile method, how takes place how it takes place, like how as here the diagram of the agile method is explained, like unit testing, analyze, design, and implement, accept, deploy, maintenance, and requirement. How the integrating testing covers design and implement, and regression testing covers these implement and accept, and user acceptance testing covers this acceptance, deploy, and maintain. Like what are all the like same as like as explain for advantage disadvantage for waterfall method. These are the advantage and disadvantage for the agile method. Agile method, in agile method, the advantage is like manage the cost maintenance is very cheap if we implement this software. And the only main drawback of these agile is poor outcome of pure documents. That's true, because if you are not if you are not providing any if you are not providing documentation strong, we can expect only poor outcome. If you are giving if you are giving strong documents, like whatever the documents they require, whatever the documents that required for the system, if we give input, the outcome will be perfect. This is what explained the SL method. And these are all the references I used in doing this assignment. And this appendix, it says in on which date, on and which activity I did, and how many days it took for me in completing these activities is explained. And thank you for giving me this opportunity for explaining me uh, for me to explain my project. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. Bye.